Happy Thursday, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. Always a pleasure giving these presentations. Now, as soon as I got to the office, rare earths, critical mineral stocks, that's right, MP Materials, USAR, US Antimony, they're all going bonanzas today, right? Now, if you don't know the backstory behind this, China has a monopoly on critical minerals, rare earth minerals, things of that nature. So the United States is taking measures to make sure we can, essentially increase our own supply chain, right? So that way we're not dependent on China or Russia when it comes to the case of antimony and other elements of the periodic table. So let's go ahead and jump into the article that's really causing these stocks to move. And then we're going to take a renewed look within the VectorVest 7 system, see if there's any opportunities when it comes to some of these rare earth plays. So this is something that you're interested in. Stick around and let's get started. All right, big event coming up. We got the Las Vegas 2-day investment seminar coming September 20th, 21st, 2025. You can achieve the VIP experience in person. Just go to vectorvest.com/Vegas to register now. Now, it's funny because I was just talking about this on the live stream. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. Even if China and the United States comes to some deal when it comes to, rare earths, critical minerals, I usually just lump them up, the same elements that we are dependent on for technology of the future. Again, a lot of this is utilized for semiconductors, AI, defense applications, right? Well, we can't just be dependent on China going forward from this deal, right? So, what the Pentagon's done to become the largest shareholder in rare earth miner MP Materials. Now, they're the only company to actually have a rare earth mine in the United States, in North America, actually. Now, it is in California at Mountain Pass. You can see, look, only owns the operational rare earth mine in the United States at Mountain Pass, California. It will build a second magnet manufacturing facility in the U.S. with the support of the Pentagon. Rare earths are key components in a range of weapon systems. Now, as I dive in, the U.S. was almost entirely dependent on foreign countries for rare earths in 2023, with China representing about 70% of imports. So again, if China, Russia, some of these other countries cut the supply of these minerals, well, that's going to cause a lot of havoc when it comes to our own economy, especially defense applications. Again, semiconductors, the AI boom, it's all dependent on these elements of the periodic table. Now, because of this partnership, MP will build a second magnet manufacturing plant. That's right, they're doubling their magnet manufacturing. This will be done, hopefully, start commissioning in 2028 and bring manufacturing capacity to 10,000 metric tons. Look, Defense Department is guaranteeing that 100% of the magnets made at the new facility called 10X are purchased by defense and commercial customers for 10 years after the plant is built. And not only that, but guess what? They're guaranteed a price. The Pentagon will guarantee a price floor for 10 years at $110 per kilogram, right? Even if the market isn't there, and this all has to do because of NdPr, a rare earth compound used to make permanent magnets. And again, the Department of Defense, the Pentagon, is supporting this company so that way we can get off of Chinese independence. Now, let's go ahead and jump in the VectorVest 7 software, take a look at these companies, take a look at some of the charts, and see if there's money to be made. Now, we're seeing from that article in the big news with MP, look up 50% today. Huge move, huge opportunity. I mean, they've got a great partnership with the Department of Defense. And, they're the buyers of what they're producing, right? So they just went into business with their number one buyer, the Pentagon, the U.S. government. So I think it's going to work out pretty well for MP Materials, but just looking at these companies, only one within the VectorVest 7 software currently has a buy rating. If we take a look at price action compared to our valuation, all of them are overvalued except UAMY. It did get stretched. UAMY got close to $4, but you can see it's pulled back to $2.44 right now. We valued at $2.89, creating some potential buying opportunities or more investment opportunities rather than trading. But we'll get to the chart and see exactly what opportunities are presenting themselves here. Fundamentally, not the best batch of stocks in the group, right? Even as far as a timing perspective, some of these stocks here with a RT below 1 letting us know the short-term price trend currently not in our favor. If we look at the forecasted data, US Antimony or UAMY leading the charge here with positive numbers in both categories. So let's go ahead and jump in the charts and see exactly what the chart is trying to tell us. All right, we've got Energy Fuels. Now, if you're thinking about trading this stock, right? Look at price action. It is above the 20-day EMA right now, showing favoritism for the bulls. Nice, strong buy rating. Keep in mind, the stock is overvalued right now. Now, if you're thinking as far as any kind of investment opportunity here, look, price action, $6.54. We're giving a forecasted earnings per share 0.05, right? So if we look at about a year ago, not far, you're actually paying about $6.49, about the same price here. But look at the earnings per share. It was negative forecasted earnings then. So you can see it's almost like a turnaround story here. Growth rate earnings 33%. My only, concern here really from a forecasted data standpoint, the sales growth rate faltering and now actually negative 34%. All right, MP, the reason why we're doing this video this evening, you can see the gap up, giving up some of those gains. Look at this level here around 40 bucks. I got 39.22 from the prior swing high. See if we can find a level of support here or some kind of bottom wick showing the selling pressure, this taking profits might be coming to an end. Otherwise, there's a huge gap to fill here. We can see the last pivot from the swing high here is around $29. Nice pivot here, follow through with the news, obviously, gap up situation here. So if you're in it, hey, probably don't have a whole lot of reasons for concern, maybe taking some profits, never a bad idea. But if you're thinking about getting in this position, definitely let the dust settle here and look around this $40 level. Right now we're at 44 bucks. You can see growth rate and earnings turning around here. Hit its low at negative 11%, finalizing at negative 7%. While sales growth rate finishing 25% to the upside, earnings per share has faltered though over the last 12 months. You can see it's actually negative forecasted earnings per share right now. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about investing. Here's the one undervalued company right now. It currently has a sell rating, UAMY, US Antimony Corp. If I go to 3-month time period, you can see the gap up, just put price action above that 20-day EMA. We're seeing some rejection here, this upper wick. I'd give it at least a couple closes, for some confirmation above that 20-day EMA, but we are seeing some momentum turning in the favor of the bulls here. If you take a look at the forecasted data though, of the, compared to the prior stocks, this is much better. Growth rate and earnings 46%, sales growth rate 128%. Not to mention that we value the company at $289. It's only trading $249. Here's USAR. This is a momentum stock, just IPO'd not too long ago. USA Rare Earth Inc. The name alone brought a lot of attraction. You can see it hit its low here around $5. Then coming in for a high at $18.55. Big upper wick here. Bearish engulfing candlestick. Follow through. Not much momentum since then, right? Now we're just starting to see a little bit of price action above that 20-day EMA. The last time it got above this 20-day EMA, we had a nice run up to about $15. So if you are a momentum trader, if you're thinking about potentially taking something out, let's look at the high here, $11.69. Let's get up, 11 cents past that here. It's about $11.80. That would be my trigger to see if there's any upside potential when it comes to this position. But as far as, investment opportunities here, look at value on the decline, growth rate earnings on the decline, sales growth rate 0, EPS negative. I don't see it for this position at all. But if you're thinking of a quick swing trade, I do see some optimism potentially coming up here pretty soon with price action now above the blue line, the 20-day EMA. Again, my name is Ryan. It's always a pleasure giving these 6 p.m. videos. I do love rare earths. I do love critical minerals. I think they're pivotal for the U.S. economy. And these companies here are placed right between huge geopolitical powers, being the United States and China. And these companies are going to benefit from United States trying to get off the Chinese supply chain of critical minerals and rare earths. So again, my name is Ryan. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow night.